Welcome to Cory's Conscious Living. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Make sure that you're laying down. You're all snug as a bug and you're ready to listen to a story. Get comfortable and allow your body to relax. Tatiana and Isabel were going on an adventure. They'd been preparing for this adventure for a long time. They'd been reading books every night before they went to bed, very intently learning all of the details that they needed to learn because they were going on a trip to hike Mount Neverquit. Mount Neverquit was known as one of the hardest mountains to hike. Only a certain few people had ever completed the whole trip. Some people tried and got halfway. Some people tried and got almost all the way to the top. There was only a handful of people that ever made it all the way to the top of Mount Neverquit. And Isabel and Tatiana were going to give it a go. They were of the mindset that they could do anything that they wanted to do in the world, anything that they wanted to achieve. They could try it and they could do their best. Anything was possible. The day of the trek at the bottom of Mount Neverquit, things were quite intense. Tatiana was preparing Isabel for all the different stages of the journey. They'd read lots and lots of stories about the different parts, certain parts of the hike, certain parts of the trail, corners, hills. They all had their own little interesting challenges. Tatiana was making sure that Isabel was completely ready, as Isabel was a little bit younger than Tatiana. Tatiana was going to make sure that Isabel was safe and take care of her the whole trip. They'd been hiking for some time before they came to their first pit stop. This place was known as Whining Corner. Not Winding Corner, Whining Corner. And it was famous for the monkeys that lived on that part of the mountain. The monkeys were called moaning monkeys, and they were known for their whining and their moaning. That's why it was called Whining Corner. Tatiana and Isabel prepared to go around the Whining Corner. Isabel said to Tatiana, "Do you remember this part? This means we have 1 minute to whine. And apparently, the monkeys do something very funny when they whine. It never said what it was, as if it was top secret. But do you remember, Tatiana? We have 1 minute to whine and moan, and that's it." The girls tightened up on their rucksacks and got ready to start the corner. All of the monkeys came from nowhere. They rushed over to them as if they were greeting them, saying hello, squawking, doing their thing, and then, all of a sudden, the monkeys started moaning. "I'm so tired! I'm so tired!" said one monkey. "I'm hungry!" said another monkey. Another monkey said, "My feet hurt! My feet hurt so much!" And then all of a sudden, another monkey said, "Oh my gosh, it's so warm today! Oh my gosh, it's too warm to walk! Oh!" And then it did this really funny thing. It tooted after it moaned. "Oh, it's so warm today." Tatiana instantly started laughing. All of the monkeys all around them were whining and moaning, but then when they finish whining and moaning, they toot and make toot noises like and it was hilarious. Isabel said, Focus, Tatiana, focus. We have 1 minute to get through this, so if you have any whining to do, whine now." Well, Tatiana couldn't whine. She thought about her feet. Yes, they hurt her a little bit, but she couldn't whine because it was so funny. Another monkey said, "Oh, I bet that rucksack's so heavy. I'm surprised you can even walk." Again, Tatiana started laughing. She laughed and laughed. Well, it was the funniest thing. How was anyone supposed to get past the moaning monkey corner, the whining corner, if all they do is whine and toot? She just laughed. She fell down on her knees and started laughing. Her little sister Isabel said, "Tatiana, focus. I mean it. If you have any whining to do, you have to whine now." She said, "I can't. It's too funny. Every time these monkeys whine, they toot. It's hilarious. I've completely forgotten what I was going to whine about. It's so funny." Isabel started laughing too. "It really is funny, but we have to keep walking, otherwise we'll never get past Whining Corner." The girls walked and laughed, and as they walked and laughed, they could hear the monkeys in the background. "Oh, my back hurts. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm hungry. I'm bored. I'm full. I'm sad." Oh, and they kept moaning and moaning and moaning and tooting, tooting and tooting. It was so funny. The girls finally made it past Whining Corner. As they walked on, they could hear the toots in the background, and Tatiana still was laughing. She decided she would think twice about moaning and whining in the future, because every time she moaned and whined, she would think about the monkeys tooting afterwards, which made it very funny, and then she would forget why she was whining and moaning. The next thing that they came to was tiger trails. Now, Tatiana said to Isabel, "Do you remember tiger trails? Do you remember all about it? This part's quite a challenge. Are you ready, Isabel?" Isabel said yes. She held onto the straps of her rucksack and started walking forward, heading straight into tiger trails. The first tiger that they saw made the loudest roar. Roar! At first, Isabel stood still, frozen, a little bit scared, wasn't sure what was going to happen next. Now, Tatiana knew that these tigers were safe tigers, because she'd read in all of the books that they'd been reading that these tigers didn't actually attack people. They encouraged people. They encouraged people to achieve their goals and accomplish anything that they wanted to accomplish with a roar. A simple roar. The tiger slinked its way over to Tatiana and Isabel and opened its mouth widely. Its head was enormous and its eyes were bright green, and it was so beautiful. Its stripes were yellow and brown and white and black. The girls were completely mesmerized. They both stared at the tiger, wide-eyed, waiting to see what was going to happen. The tiger opened its mouth. Roar! Roar like you mean it, girls, said the tiger. The girls looked at each other. Tatiana said, "I think she wants us to roar." Isabel said, "Let's do it." They both roared really loudly. Roar! Roar! The tiger said, "No. Roar deeper and louder and stronger, girls. I know you have it in you. Roar like you mean it. Roar. Make the roar help you to achieve this hard part of tiger trails. You can do it, girls. So many others have failed, but I believe in you. Girl power." And once again the tiger roared. Roar! This time Both of the girls' hair blew back. It was so loud. They stood there, a little bit scared still. But then they did it. They conjured up this biggest, deepest, strongest, loudest roar both of them had ever done. "Roar!" said Tatiana. "Roar!" said Isabel. It felt great. They both felt really powerful and strong, like they could do anything that they wanted to do. The tiger said, "You remember that roar. You remember that power that's rumbling in your tummy right now. That power will get you through anything that you want to try and do, girls. That power is inside of you always. All you have to do is take hold of your fears, channel them, and roar. Do the biggest, loudest roar that you've ever done, and you won't feel afraid anymore." The girls both looked at each other in complete agreement. They felt great. They felt ready to achieve and move to the top of Mount Neverquit. They knew they could make it. The tiger was right. When you roar like that, it makes you feel powerful and strong and ready to do anything that you want to do. The girls both thanked the tiger and kept on walking. The next part was the most challenging part. The next part was Boy Banter Hills. Boy Banter Hills was filled with boys, all different ages. Small, tiny little 5-year-old boys, 10-year-old boys, older boys, sometimes younger boys. But it was filled with boys, and they started to hear the boys as they walked up. "You can't get past this part. You're a girl," said one of the boys. Isabel looked at Tatiana, and Tatiana looked at Isabel, and Tatiana said, "Do you remember this part when we were reading about this part? This is the boy banter hike. This is the part that's the most challenging of all. This is the part where all the different boys tell you you can't do it because you're a girl." "Well, we don't think that's true, do we, Isabel?" Isabel shook her head. "No way, Jose," said Isabel. "We can do anything that we want to do. We just got through tiger trails. We just got through the moaning monkeys. We can do it." Both of them held hands and started to walk towards Boy Banter Hike. All the voices were coming from all over. "You're not as good as me because you're a girl. You're not strong because you're a girl. You can't do that. You're a girl. What do you expect? You're a girl." All the different voices were coming loud and clear, and it was very, very distracting. At one point, Tatiana thought to herself, "Maybe we can't do this because we're girls. Maybe we can't." And Isabel felt it and sensed her and said, "Don't you dare start doubting in yourself because you're a girl. You can do anything that you want to do. Boys can do anything that they want to do, and so can girls. Girls can do anything that they want to do too. We all can do whatever we want. It doesn't matter if you're a girl or a boy. Come on, Tatiana. It doesn't matter." Tatiana lifted her shoulders back, stood tall and strong, lifted her chin up as if to say, "Right, you're right, Isabel, I'm ready." They kept walking through, hiking higher and higher, and the voices kept coming still. "You can't do that. You're a girl. You're supposed to be wearing pigtails, and you're supposed to have bows in your hair. You can't do this mountain. You'll never make it up Neverquit Mountain because you're a girl." The voices were getting stronger and stronger and more intense. The girls just pulled together, held tight to each other's hands, and remembered exactly what the tiger said. They roared. "Roar!" said Tatiana, the loudest roar ever. Isabel took a nice deep breath. Roar! All the boys went quiet, and the girls made it through. They made it through and past Boy Banter Hike. They were on the final stretch. They stopped to celebrate and hugged each other tightly. "We can do this, we can do anything," said Isabel. "We can do this, we can do anything," said Tatiana. "I'm feeling so brave. Maybe tonight we can even sleep in our own beds, Isabel." Isabel looked and said, "Oh, I don't know about that. I like sleeping with Mum and Dad." Tatiana said, "After being able to get through the monkeys, the tigers, and the boy banter, I think we can sleep in our own beds. We can do anything, remember?" Roar! Isabel laughed. They kept walking, forward, onward, and upward, until they made it. They made it to the top of Mount Never Quit, and you wouldn't believe who was there, wagging their tail at the top of the mountain. Zeus. Zeus, their dog, their favoritist, most wonderfulest, bestest dog in the world. Zeus, their English bulldog, was there at the top of the mountain, wagging his tail, shaking his body, so happy to see them both. They sat down with him and hugged him and kissed him and loved him and petted his ears. It was one of the bestest moments they'd ever had. They felt so proud of themselves, and they'd learned so much coming up Mount Never Quit. They'd learned how to never ever quit. They'd learned that whining and moaning can be quite funny if you toot afterwards. They'd learned that if you roar deep and long, you feel strong and powerful, and you can achieve anything that you want to achieve. And they'd also learned that it didn't matter if you were a girl or a boy. It was who you were inside. It was the strength that you had in your heart. It was your mind that made you who you were. They were so proud, and yet so tired. They both laid down. They snuggled into Zeus and started to relax. Zeus was warm and safe and comforting. It felt so good to not be hiking up the mountain anymore, to just lay and be still and quiet. They both felt so good about themselves, so proud of themselves. They both started to fall asleep with big smiles on their faces. They could achieve anything that they wanted to achieve. They were big girls, strong, brave, funny, loving, kind. They were anything that they wanted to be. Isabel's little toes relaxed. Her legs got heavy. Tatiana's body started to melt into the top of the mountain. It was so comfortable. The sun was shining down on them both. It was warm like a big fluffy blanket. They all started to fall into a deep sleep. Their arms got heavy, very heavy and relaxed. Both of them rested their heads on Zeus. He was soft and comfortable like a pillow. Zeus closed his eyes and went to sleep. Both girls started to fall deeper and deeper into sweet dreams.